Hi everyone, my name is Jonathan Tolo from Made by Tolo and a friend of Irina who is celebrating 1 year now on her YouTube. That's just crazy. I've been impressed by work from day one, Irina, and making over 100 episodes in 1 year. I don't know from where you get the time. Your days probably has like 25 or 26 hours, right? Crazy. So when Irina asked me to show something about chocolate, I got so excited that I wanted to do it, of course. I'm no chocolatier professional. I've learned from the masters. And if you want to also do bonbons of your own, I recommend taking a local class. We need to support those locals, you know? And also buy great products because you'll really feel the taste and texture is a lot better if you buy something a little bit more expensive than the cheap ones you can get in a nearby grocery store. But this is a material sport, so you will also need some other materials, but it will be worth it in the end, I promise. So I'm going to show you the basics with the materials I use. There are several different ways in tempering chocolate, which is the most important part of doing bonbons, to have well-tempered chocolate. I'm doing the tabling method, so I have this stone that I've cut out for this little tabletop, and this works perfectly. If you want to do some other tempering method, you can do seeding, or you can use micro. You can Google that up. I can also share you some links if you want to. But if you want to do tabling, I'm going to show you the basics. So first of all, you need good chocolate. This one is a white chocolate from Carma. I think it's a really good taste. It's not too sweet, not too fat. It has a lovely vanilla texture to it. I'm gonna using this for the shells and also for the interior of the bonbon. And I'm gonna mix it with rhubarb because it's rhubarb season right now. This is a totally new recipe. I have no idea how it's gonna taste, but I learned, like I said, from the best. So my friend Ingela, who is a super excellent chocolatier, she has shared the recipe with me. And I'm gonna twerk it up a little bit and see how it tastes with rhubarb. So then you will need a mold. I strongly recommend that you buy a polycarbonate mold if you want to do bonbons. This is from Chocolate World. It's my all favorite one and most used. This is named 2295. And the reason why it's so good is because it's so simple. The design is just a dome. So you can color it up and make whatever you want with it. And you can make the interior or the exterior tell what the interior is going to be like just from using colors and textures. So if you make it green, you know it's going to be something like apple or lime. Or if you make it yellow, you know it's going to be lemon or maybe pineapple, I don't know. So just have fun with it. So if you want to get one mold, 2295 is the way to go. So get this one. You also want to invest in a good thermometer because that is crucial when tempering chocolate. You know, when you temper chocolate, you need to melt it, get it up to a specific temperature, then lower the temperature quite fast by adding pre-tempered chocolate or by cooling it down on the bench like I'm going to do. And then you need to get it up again in temperature, and this temperature fluctuations is very important that you get the correct temperature. So you need to have a good thermometer that shows the temperature quite fast and also quite accurate. So this one has 1 decimal as well because it's easier to look where the temperature is going. You need some spatulas. I'm going to use these ones. These are also from Chocolate World. You can use anything from your local tool shop. This is just to move around the chocolate on the table and also to scrape off excess chocolate off the mold. So I have two. I have one longer and one shorter. You can just go with one shorter or one longer, it doesn't matter. This one's a little bit more flexible. I actually like the longer one the best. Bowl, of course, to melt your chocolate in. I have some piping bags, plastic piping bags, very useful. I have cotton gloves, you don't need that. I also have my colors. This is chocolate colors diluted in chocolate fat or in cocoa butter. So you need to have fat dissolvable colors for this to work. You can't use anything. So make sure that when you are trying to color your chocolate, you are buying something that is made for chocolate. So I'm going to be using black, green and red in these ones. So what we're going to do first is color the mold using the cocoa butter colors, and then we're gonna temper the white chocolate, make the shell of the chocolate or the bonbon, and then we're gonna make the ganache, which is gonna be vanilla, white chocolate, rhubarb, quite simple, and then we're gonna make the lid, and then we're gonna take it out and of course have a taste test. So let's go.
Okay, so first off you need to melt your chocolate colors to 40 to 50 degrees and then letting it cool until below 30 degrees Celsius. I use a toothbrush to make small dots, but you can use any kind of brush or just your fingers or any method you want really to make smaller or bigger dots. If you're messy like me, you might need to make sure not to use too much color, but all excess color can be removed using a paper towel. And if you like me are messy, like I said, you can just remove the excess using a paper towel inside a mold and then redo it. Then as well I use the same temperatures for the red and green color and then add them to the mold using my fingers. You can use multiple layers of different colors, but don't overdo any single color because it will look messy. And when it's done, it should be looking something like this. Now it's time to temper the chocolate, so first melt it inside your microwave until 40 to 45 degrees Celsius. Move it around on your tabletop if you're using the tabling method like I am doing, until it's between 26 to 27 degrees Celsius. You will then scrape it back into your bowl and then add it again to your microwave, but only reheat it for 5 seconds at a time until it's between 28.5 till 30 degrees Celsius. I leave it to rest for a little bit before adding it to my plastic piping bag. You can of course just pour it, but I recommend using a piping bag because it's a lot less messier. I just cut the tip off and then pour into each mold. You can use your dominant hand below your non-dominant hand and quickly you will have the feel for how much you need to pressure to fill each mold. You tap the side quite vigorously to remove air bubbles, and then you can just pour out all excess chocolate. This can of course be reused later on, so don't worry. We can retemper it anytime. I tap it a bit more, but don't do this too much because the shells will get too thin, and then remove all the excess chocolate on the mold to get it clean. Leave out for at least 1 hour in room temperature to let it set. For this filling, I'm just melting it all in a saucepan and then letting it cool down to below 30 degrees Celsius before adding it to my gels. Remember to leave at least 2 millimeters so you can have a lid as well. This will be left out overnight in room temperature so it hardens before adding more white chocolate on, and this is also tempered of course, and you can pipe it out or scrape it out like I'm doing here. You then just use your scraper to remove all the excess chocolate and you'll have a nice lid, which will be the bottom actually of the bonbon. Put this in the fridge for at least 30 minutes to an hour before trying to take them out. Sometimes this is rather quick and you get them all out in one shot, but sometimes you need to give it a bit of a harder time so you get them all out. But you can also just let them sit in the freezer for a bit. And here they are. I think they look gorgeous. They have a nice shine, good colors. It's because of the good mold and the right tempered chocolate.
Okay, so now it's time to test them out. I have my little assistant here who does not understand what I'm saying because he doesn't speak English. So, vi ska prova nu. Är du beredd? Det är rabarber i. So this one is the rhubarb one, you know, that I made. Looks good. The shell looks nice. Vi provar. Får se vad jag tycker då. You know, kids are always the most honest. It has a quite subtle rhubarb taste. The ganache itself is not as smooth as I wanted it to be. Do you know what? Oh, bra till. But it's very tasty. I really recommend it. I'm going to show it to you. So thank you for watching this video and thumbs up. Bye.